Hello and welcome to a Sunday edition of Wardy's Waffle. Great update for those of you who want to see some tractor action and some fields getting cultivated and drilled, because that's just what we're doing. We've got great weather at the moment. You can see some sun here straight into my eyes. We've had a good days of wind. Also at the very start I go through our sugar beet figures. If you remember the update, the midweek update, we had some sugar beet going into the factory, and I've been on the British Sugar website into our grower section and gone through a few minutes showing you how we can see what all the fields do, how our figures are how the beet is tested and how the figures are relayed back to us. So got a few minutes looking at that at the very start of the video. Then we're on into machinery and drilling. Hope you enjoy this week's update. Please click like, subscribe and the little bell icon to alert you when I post any of my videos. I've just come on the British Sugar website and gone into our area. Each grower has their own section in the website where we can see how the crop's performing. You can see here, this page, this is the week ending. We've only had 2 lots of beet in, week ending 16th of October, which you saw in the video a few weeks ago, and then this week ending, which is obviously this week. In this last week, we've had 31 loads go in the factory there, and this is an average of all of them. So we'll just click in that one, and that opens up a screen, and that shows you how every load there has performed. And this is every single load. You can see here, I've mentioned before, and you'll see when I do my video, when I post it from inside the factory, that we're on a reduced sampling. So you can see that load there was sampled. If I run that across, so that one load was sampled, and then that one sample will do all these loads above that say no. It's just purely at random, and it's small growers who only have a real small tonnage are sampled every load. Larger growers, more tons. I don't know what the cut-off point is, but they're randomly sampled, and you'll see again from in the weighbridge how it's picked. And when I went in the factory, our load was actually picked to be sampled, which was great. You can see that whole process in my video in a week or two's time when I post it. So what we do now, we go into the allocate fields tab, and I can allocate all these fields. Here I can allocate them to all these loads to a field. That field there, the second load there, I just need to allocate that to another field, because when we finished the first field, that was left at the back of the pad, and I know when we loaded it yesterday, it was that load. So I'm just going to put that as hillside, and that then has adjusted that. If I click field report there, that now goes, there we go, the 2 fields. So we've got, this is the first field we lifted. You can see hillside, and it's done an adjusted weight of 100.73 tonnes per hectare, which is a phenomenal weight for early lifted. And then this second field is done even better. We're on 109 tonnes per hectare, just under 109 tonnes per hectare, which is the highest yield of sugar beet we have ever had. Just fantastic. I'm so pleased with that. Really, really has done very, very well for this year, considering it's been so dry. Ian's just bringing a bit more steel in to do one of the beams of the house. This is quite a tricky one to make, because it's for the apex, the glass window at the apex of the end of the house. That is the glass window at the end, so all this is glass. Ian's going to make a beam that mirrors the shape of the roof like that, with some feet on there and there to support the roof and go above the glass. And this is what he's doing. So there's one of the trusses, so it needs to mirror that truss. So he's got all the angles right, welded here and across here, and then that's had to be cut off there, and then welded on there, and then this plate that he's just bringing in, and some of that needs cutting off to weld onto here, and then obviously that will sit up at the end, and it will sit on the walls. These bits will support all the roof. So he's doing a really good job there. Got everything all braced up at the minute with clamps and steel along there, just to get all the levels right. Obviously that box section's just to make sure everything's parallel and straight. Tom's just fetching all the forklift attachments out the shed where we keep them. We're just going to put this drag on the 8RX. We've got 1 or 2 areas that we need to just finish off. The solo on some headlands and various bits was blocking up, the DD was blocking up, so we just need to put this drag on the RX. just need to move the combine as well. Luckily it started. We do try and keep it running every so often through the winter. Ruben had it running the other day. Just going to move it with the Manitou, it'll be easier than backing the tractor in here. That's it. We bought this, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago now. We don't use it very often. Those of you who followed the channel for a while, we used it last year behind the quad track on the heath after Sugar Beet in January, February, when we made a mess of a headland. But it's just a really good drag just for getting you out of trouble, dragging headlands up and things. So it'd be interesting to see how the RX copes with it. The sleeves are on these pins and they're fast on. Oh, you got that one off. There's two different types of or sizes of balls will come with the John Deere. The sleeve fits in that one, or the pin in that one. Category 4. That's got it on. There's plenty of room in the hooks there. Sometimes some machines it bottoms out in that corner, not enough gap, but it's good this is fitting on here and with the hydraulic top link. Tom's just heading out to try the drag on the 1 or 2 areas that need doing so they're good enough for Beet next year. It's leaving it really rough, but it'll be okay. It's coming Sugar Beet for the winter. It'll mellow down. If we get a frost, we might even do it again, but chance of getting frost now, we don't seem to get many of those. That's doing a good job getting through it. Again, this is another machine we just put on the quad track, and this tractor's handling it well. That's the effect of the solo, and then you can just see here it hasn't quite done it as well in this headland, so that's why we're just going a bit deeper with the drag. Here, nice soil this end of the field, so it should be okay. We're just looking at drilling some of these fields, and they've gone really well with this harrow. Ruben did it mostly in the night when it was dark, so I haven't got any videos of him doing it, but it's done a good job. It belongs to a pal of mine from near Lincoln, and we've done probably, I don't know, 200 acres with it. You can just see here, normally would have been straight in this with our Simba drill, but it needed to dry out. It was there's wet underneath, so we needed to mix it up, and it's done a cracking job here, to be honest. It's dry on top, as you can see. Look at my boots, they're coming off clean, thanks Nala, but it is underneath. It's still a bit tacky, but by the time we get here a couple of days, hopefully it will should go. We're going to get drilling hopefully the next day or so, but there's odd areas of some of the fields and headlands that are a bit too wet to drill, so we're going to put this Kuhn pneumatic spreader on. It's 20 metres wide. We're going to put it on the fast track and broadcast some of the wheat. We have broadcast wheat years ago, one of the things my father taught me when you're broadcasting wheat is not to wait till nothing else will possibly run, which probably I nearly am doing now, but broadcasting, actually you can get some good yields with that, nearly as good as conventionally drilled and conventionally planted crops. So we're going to put this on the fast track, but to make it tread as light as possible, we are going to change some wheels. We do have some 710 millimetre wide tyres for the fast track. They're on 540s at the minute, the tractor is normally. So we've got some 710s. We're going to put those on because it will just make less mess of the field. This is the little shed here where we keep the wheels and tyres in. And we've got got some trailer wheels, various things in here. There's spare tyres for our Bailey trailers. There's the front wheels off the Puma. There are the wheels off the sprayer, the smaller ones, and here are the wider tyres for the fast track. The 710 wide, as I say, they're a bit smaller diameter, they're Alliance, but they're really good on there because the tractor's not heavy to start with. This little Toyota industrial forklift is really handy for nipping about the yard and going in sheds and things. We use it a lot, we're absolutely lost without it. So I'm just lifting these wheels across now into the workshop and we'll get them put on the fast track. This wheel changer makes the job a lot easier. So much easier than struggling with it, twisting it on concrete. When you pump that handle in, it closes the frame up and then lifts the wheels up on the rollers. See it clearing the floor. That bar on the top just stops the wheel from falling over. Just doing these up now. Ian's really working on the beam for the house, while Nala's having a chew. Just what we don't need. Flat tyre. Let's see if we can get it pumped up. That's got it seated. We're just going to put the Manitou under the front end on the block of wood under that weight frame and lift it up. That's got them, both the front ones off. That's it, that's all four of them on. Just going to tighten this one up. Tom's just pumping so that one up, it's a bit flat. That's caught the tractor a lot lower. Ian's doing a bit more to this beam on the house. Coming on nicely. Tom's just got the drill on the RX, just going to calibrate, put some seed in, hopefully go out and get some done. Just starting to fill the hoppers now. I think it's Saturday. It's quite a gym this morning, so we're just getting all the hoppers filled up ready, and then Tom will be going out shortly. So these hoppers hold 1.5 tons. We've got 4 of them, but it'll be better when we get that trailer rigged up that we bought a few months ago. Much easier this is than taking bags out into the field, lifting them above the drill and everything, and then when you only want half a bag to fill the drill, it's your job to shut it off. With these hoppers you can easily just shut the slide off and put in what you want, and it's a lot safer as well. This is a variety called Gleam that we're on. We're just finishing this. There's only 2 and a bit tons of this, and then that's it, finished. And then we've got Dorsum to go on the main lot, which is a feed wheat as well, and like Cranium is, Gleam is, and then we've got some Cranium to do on the 2 beet fields as well. So we've got a fair bit just to to do yet, but hopefully with the weekend we'll get it done. So now this is a variety called Dorsum, new variety, only came out last year in limited quantities. We grew a little bit of ourselves, that's how we've got our farm safe seed. That's what we do, we buy a tonne of a new variety. 1 tonne planting seed, we'll plant around 5 hectares, and then obviously at harvest time 5 hectares. If you get 10 or 12 tonnes of the hectare, that's looking at 50 tonnes minimum. So that's how we get our seed, and we know it's good quality seed, free of blackgrass seeds, everything like that. So that's how we do it. These bags hold a tonne, so that's so we get 3 bags in 2 hoppers basically. So I'm now just going to lift this hopper that's got a tonne in it over the top of the other hopper that we've just put a tonne in it, and then Tom will just pull the slide and we'll fill it up. That's it, I'll level that out. So that's got that one full, so now that means this one's only got half a tonne in. So we'll grab another bag. That's it, so those 2 hoppers on the right now. There's 3 tonne there in those 2. We've decided to take some bags on the flat trailer as well as the hoppers, so we're just going to load these up. Tom's got needs about 13 tonnes for the area of land we're going to hopefully drill. So we need 8 bags on this trailer. There we go, it's 32 feet long, holds 18 tonnes, triaxle, but you can see there's a fair back gap between the wheels and the front of the drawbar, so that's why we're not loading it right to the front, because this Manitou won't pick it up when it's loaded right to the front. The drawbar on this Manitou is not that powerful, so we're going to load it like this and then put the 4 hoppers on the back, and it'll be a lot more balanced. So that's the 4th hopper now nearly on. That's got it loaded up well. Manitou has picked the drawbar up fine, just because they're a bit light on the front end, so that's good. Tom's just strapping it all down and then we'll get off. There, we've got the trailer here now with the hoppers on. There's only a tonne in this one. Tom's got the drill unfolded. Yeah, well, I'm just going to put this seed, this 1 tonne here, in the hopper. Sorry, in the drill. Can't quite see for the light, but that's putting it in nicely. So we've got started drilling, and I cannot believe how well it's going. That harrowing we did with that Vardastat NZ harrow, I borrowed from a pal of mine. Thanks John for that, and it's just fantastic the job it's done, and I cannot believe the drilling is going so well when you see this. So I'll just turn the camera around. There is actually dust coming off the top of the drill I can see from here, which is fantastic. Look at that. Dust blowing off this side of the tractor and the drill. You'd never have believed it for November. The tractor's handling the drill really well. And this, so the camera's shaking because I'm walking. And just see how well it's going. Just look at that. Now the green here, that's obviously volunteers, what we call volunteers, which is self-set wheat come out the back of the combine, and it's grown, but that's all been, it'll be dying because that's been sprayed with glyphosate. There'll be some black grass amongst that as well, but the drill's pulled and the harrow's pulled this out, but that will actually be brown in another week. That'll all be brown, so that'll be dead as the new wheat is starting to grow. Headland turn going well on this tractor. Must say this tractor's fantastic, really like it. Handles this drill and everything we've got fantastically well. It knows it's got it. You can just tell it change up a gear then and it's a load. That is going so well. And when you look here, there's no seed out on top anywhere. We'll just get close up. There we go. There's some seed. You can just see there. We're putting on quite a high seed rate. We're going 475 seeds a square metre, which is roughly, I think, about 240 kilos a hectare. I'll work it out exactly in a second, but when you look at that, underneath here, this is where what hasn't been drilled. That's dry on top there, but it is a bit wet underneath. But what's happening is the dry on top is mixing up with the wet underneath, which means the wet soil underneath is slightly drier than it is here because it's got this dry mixed up with it. We're just now filling some hoppers in the field. I've emptied 2 already into the drill. And I've got William here, one of the farmers we contract farm for, has just come to pick me up and he's just helping me fill these bags, the hoppers rather. We're now just in the last beet field we lifted. You saw the video when we were having the beet going in the factory the other day. This is the Vardastat NZ that a friend of mine, John's, let me use. 8 metres wide, doing a cracking job on here, just levelling it out, ready for our Freeflow drill. This is the machine that Ruben went round all our other wheats with that we're now drilling. Doing a really good job. Thank you, John. So we've soloed this straight after the sugar beet harvester, and that's left it really well. Mixed all the tops up, taken the weanings out and compaction from the trailers, and this is the result now with that NZ. So done a really good job. So we're going to come in here with our drilling hopefully on Monday. Sorts of dry until Monday night, just let this dry tomorrow in the sun. But that is the finish, the solos left. So you could actually, part of this field that would drill with our Freeflow would go on that on its own, but there's parts of the field isn't, so we're just doing the whole field to make sure it's all in a good order to drill. So still see the sugar beet tops. That's like putting fertiliser and organic matter back into the soil. So yeah, pleased with how this is running. The soil's lovely up there, middle of the field, but once you get to this end, this is where it definitely is not as good. This headland's a lot heavier, more clay, more silt. Of course the beet trailers are running up and down here. You can just see here what this is like. But look at the midges flying about. Don't know whether the camera's picking them up. But get some air on this and get it drilled, it'll be fine, I'm sure it will. Just filling up the hoppers. For Tom again, you can see we've got a lot of the seed gone, which is good, shows the drilling's going well. So I've got that hopper full. You can see that one there, so I'm just going to put this 1 ton bag in this hopper. Tom is drilling, you can just see in the sun through there somewhere. There we go. I'm just going down to our last field that needs spraying with glyphosate. It's been wheat 4 or 5 years on the go, on the trot, and it's the field that we've agri drilled their drilled their trial plots in a few weeks ago. Going past one of our early drillings that was spring beans, looking good. That was done with the Bednar cultivator you saw. You can see the lights just starting to go. It's 4:30 p.m. and there's the trial plots. So I've got to be very careful with the glyphosate not to go anywhere near there or get the drift onto those. Got the rest of this to spray. not too bad for growth, but the various patches you can see there needs doing. Just unfold the boom. See the end section just coming out there. 32 metres wide this sprayer is. Got going now. You can see there the green in the tram line, that's self-set come out the combine. I'm quite sure why it's greater in the tram lines there. There's bits of green dotted all over. So the glyphosate do a really good job here. So this will all be controlled and will be dying by the time the new seed starts to grow. It needs 12 hours on it before we cultivate or drill it, which it will get. There's the glyphosate coming out the boom. Nice conditions for spraying, about 3 miles an hour wind. Just trying to get this field finished. It's about 8 PM Saturday evening. Going really well at the minute, considering it's middle of November on difficult clay and silt soils. That flashing light on the back of the drill obviously is for the road, and it comes on the minute the side lights put on the tractor. We need to actually either put a switch in or just put up with it. Lights on this John Deere, you can see, are just fantastic. It's like daylight with 360-degree lighting. And just see how good the lights are on this RXR. That's the last breed in this field of the headlands. That's about 125 acres done since 1 o'clock today. It's now 8 PM, just nice and steady. That's Tom coming back in the yard after getting all the land done today, which is great. Just going to put it in the shed. Ready for morning. Amazingly how clean the drill is and the rollers for drilling in November. So that's it for this Sunday update of Wardy's Waffle. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed all the tractor work and the field work going on. Please click like, subscribe and the bell icon to alert you when I post any more videos. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get a lot of the drilling finished, apart from one sugar beet field, and we'll see you in midweek.